Welcome to the 18th edition of Podcasters. Today with Cas Kaandorp. I said it in Dutch. Welcome, Cas. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. Nice to meet you in real life.
Yeah, that's a thing, right? We never met in real life, on the phone, video calls, but never live. So I'm thankful we can do this. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And why are you here?
Yes, thanks. Now, my name is Cas. I'm a conversational AI consultant. So yeah, I'm helping companies to implement conversational AI into their business. And besides that, I'm a board member of TEDx and in charge of the lineup.
In the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands, yes.
Okay. Cool. How did you end up in, this sort of startles me. How did you end up in TEDx?
In TEDx?
So cool, by the way.
It was, it's a long story, but I will help you come along with it. But yeah, we started when I was a student. They started, organizing TEDx in Alkmaar to create some impact. And the main goal of the event was to educate people about the Sustainable Development Goals. So I thought at that time, okay, that's quite cool to be involved, and I think I can learn a lot from that. So yeah, I said, okay, let's go, let's do it. And I came to the team, and we organized a very, very good event. And within 2 or 3 months, I was asked to join the board. And I thought, okay, nice opportunity. I like to get involved, and now we are going for the second edition, and have some new goals. So
in Alkmaar.
Yes, in Alkmaar. Again.
So you specifically, it's not the Netherlands, it's Alkmaar. It's,
TEDx is TED is from America, and when you put an X on the end and the name of the city, you can organize your own event if you get a license from America.
Okay, and you have one, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next event will be in Alkmaar, and you're organizing it.
Yes.
Is it going to be about conversational AI?
Partly. We are going to look at the future. So what do we want to see in the future? How do we want to create it? And AI is definitely one of the subjects that you need to touch.
Yeah, hip and happening. If you listen to the radio, it's all over the place. And the other thing I want to know, how did you become involved in conversational AI? Because everybody has his or her story, and it's stunning how different these stories are.
I don't always tell people how I ended up here, especially in the morning. This morning I told someone about it, and he started laughing very hard.
I know this person, and I know he was here too. And I know how he ended up in conversational AI. That's a funny story too.
He's probably watching.
Well, not yet, because we're recording, not live.
But I think in 2018, a friend invited me to his house, and I was always kind of interested in tech. And we entered his house, and he said, "Hey Alexa," and at that point, Amazon Alexa was not on the Dutch market. Google Home was still not on the Dutch market. So I was really amazed. The curtains going to open, the lights are going on, his favorite music starts playing, and Alexa asked him do you like some coffee? So I was really amazed by his house, and how the hell did he do this? So I was very curious and starting ask questions. Okay, how do you do this? How do you create this in your home? What kind of products do you need to build this experience in your own home? And he started talking. Okay, I need some smart sockets so I can connect things to the Alexa device. And we are searching for opportunities. We are both business guys. So what is needed to connect all that stuff? And at that time you had some companies that are delivering the smart sockets. So we thought, okay, this can be a good opportunity. We know Amazon Alexa. It's a matter of time before they come to the Netherlands. Also, Google Home is coming, and the amount of money that they ask for the smart home speakers tells everything about how badly they want to get in your home. So we thought, okay, We
You
just
didn't
searched
get scared that they want to get into your home.
maybe. So we are looking online, checking as two students. Okay, where can we get a good deal and have a lot of those smart sockets? And we get them from China, put a label on it, and started to sell them on bol.com. So
And connect them to Alexa Home.
so the people that bought them, they can easily connect them to Alexa or to Google Home. So we were standing there 2 months before Google Home came to the Netherlands, and then after that, Google Home came to the Netherlands, and our sales went very well at that point.
So actually, you're a smart socket guy.
Yeah, and that's why I was interested in the technology. So okay, now I'm selling smart sockets, and then after that, okay, but how is that Alexa thing? How's that working? How does it's conversational AI, but how can I make something myself? Are there companies around there building them? What are the big companies doing? And at that time, 2018, we were talking about, it was very low level. So very interesting point to start figuring out how the conversational AI market is working.
You were one of the early adopters.
Yeah, by accident, but it was really interesting.
It's funny. You're the first one I hear that comes from hardware into the conversational AI.
If we go to the business terms, this was the low hanging fruit was the hardware. So
you still sell them?
No. There became a big company in the Netherlands that sold them in offline stores for 6 or 7 euros per unit.
There's no money to be made there anymore.
And we at the beginning we sold them for 24. So the gap was quite too big.
Well, too bad. But so you changed to conversational AI, and do you have any specialization, voice or text or?
Yeah, mostly text based. And
Okay.
we talked about it earlier, but in the Netherlands, I think that the most interesting opportunities is with text, because the conversation design part is completely different if you compare text to voice.
Yeah, I agree. I talk to people from France or other places, and in Holland we're focused on text, less so much on voice. Unfortunately, I think we should do both.
Yeah. You definitely can do both, but it's easier to start with text, and I think we still in the early phase of that. So if you want to start and helping companies to start, I always recommend start with chat.
What do you enjoy most about helping companies getting there? Basically, getting their bot up and running, or actually probably the stage before that, figuring out what they have to do.
Yeah, I talk a lot to companies that don't realize what the technology is and what it can bring to them.
Okay.
So mostly I talk to people and tell them something about the history of chatbots and the image. So
image of chatbots.
Yeah, if you are standing in a pub at a Friday night and something come up to you and asks you, okay, what's your job? What are you doing? And I tell them, okay, I build chatbots. And then
they kick you out.
First, they look at you, okay, but you don't look like a nerd. And then they're asking, that are those things that never get it right, aren't they? Yeah, okay. But there is a lot of potential.
Well, you need to experiment a lot to get somewhere. But this is true. This is the most annoying part. We know we're getting there. We're getting better. But a lot of people, there's a lot of mediocre bots around.
Yeah.
People rightfully so complain about it.
Yeah, and if you ask companies from, did you experiment something with chatbots? Yeah, we did. And then they tell, we had some guys at the customer support and we asked them to make a chatbot. Yeah,
it's not the same.
Yeah, it's quite of a specialty to make one. So yeah, if you let people make a chatbot that don't really have experience in making a chatbot, the chances that you create a good one is almost zero, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But you do need the people in customer service for that knowledge and for the content. But I agree. It's a specialization. But what do you enjoy the most? That was a question.
Yeah, sorry. What I do enjoy the most is the strategy and the creation part. Okay. So
you actually built them yourself?
The strategy, yes. So
the creation, you actually built the bots yourself?
Yeah, I can create the bots. So the conversation design part, I have some difficulties with the integrations when it comes to the RPA part and the API connections.
Yeah.
But the conversation design, the intent entity training, that's something what I can do. And the strategy part is what I like the most, and that is helping a company. Okay, what does the company looks like? Who's the customer, or maybe who's the employee? Depends.
Internal bot.
Yeah, it depends on the journey how it looks like. Maybe the patients or the student, and then look like the whole journey, the touch points, and then give them advice about how to implement the bots, how to create one, how it can add value to the company, and really think about the beginning stage. That's what I like the most.
And that's the most difficult part.
Yeah,
to get started.
And the dangerous part, I think, for companies to do that wrong.
Yeah, what happens if they do it wrong?
Now, the beginning is to choose the right platform is something that...
Well, you hear that in almost every podcast that we look at when we test. You see that a choice of platform, you're stuck with it for years because of all the investments, and then you're stuck. And then...
Yeah, that is probably the worst scenario that you... what can happen is that you choose one and put a lot of work and money in it, and then realizing after 2 or 3 years, okay, damn, I need to start over.
No innovation possible.
Yeah, and you need to be aware of the danger of that. So you need some knowledge about which platform to choose, which NLP, NLU system. You need something about your own. Need to know something about your own customer journey. You need something about the channels that are available, but also the restrictions of every channel. So there's a lot of to think about, and it's important that you make the right decisions up front, so you can make it easy for you in the rest of the journey.
But who do you talk to in those companies? What level in the company?
Now the C-level is always involved, but you have the marketing department, because communication is something that happens, and it can be proactively and reactively. So they are involved. Besides that, you have sometimes HR.
If it's an internal bot.
So that is possible. Always the tech guy is involved with the application landscape, and besides that, of course, the customer support department that is also involved, and that makes it quite difficult to set up a project.
I agree, but in the beginning, what you just described is all the people you need in to do the project and to get it started. But in the very, very, very beginning, you talk to people at C-level, and who do you talk to? Who do you think should be the owner, if we can say owner, of a chatbot in a company, which is for customers, supposedly? Not an internal bot, but an external bot. Who should be the owner? Is it a marketing thing? Is it a communication thing? Is it a business thing? What is it? Or should if it's on the website, should the people from the web design?
I go for the safe decision.
No,
there is then sometimes, or mostly, there's an innovation manager, and that's the guy where it has to start, and then you have to search together for where will the bot probably have the most impact, or where can we start safely.
So it starts as an innovation, and then it has to go. Once it's there and it works and it does what it has to do, it needs to go to a certain department. Someone needs to take ownership of the chatbot, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think should primarily be the owner? Is it the business? Is it marketing? Is it communication? There's no right or wrong. I'm just curious.
I think communication needs to be the owner.
Okay. This is interesting because I had yesterday I was with a client, and they had a bot, or they have a bot, and I thought something of it in terms of what it did and how it was constructed. And they explained to me that they had internal discussions where they wanted to work, or they worked with applied psychology, and they suggested one thing, but the communication people said, yeah, but that's not our, within our guidelines of the way we do things. Yeah, but from a psychology standpoint, it doesn't work. Yeah, but this is how we do things. Anyway, there was a eternal discussion about, and that's what happens if you give communication ownership. They have their guidelines, and within those guidelines, they're not conversational AI people. So how do you? I'm giving you a dilemma here. I'm being nasty, I know.
No.
But it's a battle, sort of a battle. But how do you? Because it's complex to get it right. Right, it takes a lot of work to make it work. And what we see is if someone who doesn't know what it takes goes to work with the chatbot, they change it to something that doesn't work. How do you, if you give it to communication department that doesn't have conversational AI experience, how do you make sure it stays afloat?
I think if you look at the guidelines, most companies have those brand guidelines, and then they really stick to it. But
very annoying.
When I start with conversation design, it always starts with a persona, and you are creating new guidelines for the chatbot.
So you're bringing it back to rules.
Yeah, you have to change the rules, because it's not the guidelines that are created.
They don't work.
And not for chatbots. They work for the company. They work for the marketing department and communication department. But they are not created to train a chatbot and make a chatbot work. So you have to closely look at the guidelines and then create a new one for the chatbot.
Here's the interesting thing. I'm going to challenge you. Do you think communication should determine what the customer service department says to customers? Or does the customer service department determines and the business determine what they say?
Definitely support.
So not communication?
No.
Okay. Now we say the chatbot is for customer service purposes. Do you still think that communication should determine or be involved in the chatbot, or they should let go and let customer service and conversational AI people handle that?
Yeah.
I'm being nasty, I know.
No, I'm the customer experience needs to be upfront, and the one who is talking to
that's the most important. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, the one that is talking to the customer knows the customer very well, and definitely knows the needs very well. So they are the input, and the communication, that is the one that especially want all the customer support agents say the same thing.
No, I agree. But what I've seen happening is that customer service people, they give the content. They say this needs to be in there because this is a frequent question or a subject that we handle, and this is the answer we give. And then they go to work, and then a really short piece of text, which could be transformed to another short piece of text, but then suitable for a chatbot, is being converted to a long piece of text. And then you see these chatbots producing one piece of text, and then another piece of text, and another piece of text. It's like they want to give you an A4 of text in the chatbot, and it's sort of being converted to a lot of blah, blah, but that's not what the customer is looking for. Just give me a straight answer to my question and not waste my time with too much text. I don't know what about the chatbot we're going to test. We'll see. And
that's why you create a new brand guidelines for a chatbot with a maximum of characters. So,
and this is important, because this is what I wanted to outline, is that for other people, that if you have to deal with a communication department, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because they also try to protect the brand, which is important. I know that. But you need new brand guidelines specifically for the chatbot. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely. It's completely different from the other communication that are used to do, and or you have to train the people from the communication department to really know how to build a chatbot and how to write conversations, or you have to give them clear guidelines where they know how to write some answers for the chatbot, which come from the support department.
So you write these guidelines.
Yeah, that's
That's one of your deliverables if you go into a company and help them.
Yeah, give the bot a name, how they start the conversation, how they end the conversation.
And do you think a bot should have a male name or a female name? I know it's not very woke, but it should be gender neutral.
It depends on the company.
Okay, so
and the mission and the statements and how they want to
come across.
Yeah.
So how do you decide when would you give it a female name or when would you give it a male name?
Recently I started a project for a company, and they are really on sustainability. And so I thought about, okay, I want to have a name that needs to be it's caring about the planet, it's loving people. So okay, I thought that's more like a female touch. And then I start, okay, what kind of names are likely to use if you it's very soft, lovely, caring name. And now you're
I'm really curious about
the name.
Yeah, you saw it on my face.
I forgot. I was thinking about, oh damn, what is the name again?
Oh, it made such a big impression that you can't remember.
Yeah, I will remember in a few minutes.
No problem.
I will come up to it.
Yeah, no, otherwise you'll send it later. We'll test it in the next podcast.
Okay.
But okay, so you figure out a name, and do you test the name with the consumers or the customers of the company, or you just throw it out there?
I really throw it out there, and I'm challenging colleagues and testing it in the company.
Okay.
So I come up with an idea. I think, okay, I've created the chatbot persona. I want the company themselves. I want them to get involved. What do you think about a name? Have you other suggestions? What can we do better? Do you think the way of talking fits the company or not?
Yeah, it's hard, and it also changes. So the guidelines you make, they're not forged in concrete. They changed over time.
Yeah, it's like a logo.
Yeah,
the company logo of many companies 20 years ago look completely different than they are now, and so do the guidelines for the chatbot will definitely change once in a while,
or maybe a little bit faster than the logo.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I would assume they change. If you think about, in your opinion, what is the most currently, if we look at now, the most interesting use case for a chatbot or voice bot you've seen around in the marketplace? Could be in Holland or anywhere else. Something that you're like, oh my god, or wow.
I want to focus more on the technology part, but
Go ahead.
The interesting thing that I'm seeing is the three different technologies that coming together, like the RPA,
robotic process automation.
Yeah, so the bot can actually do things. The machine learning part,
I call that a process bot.
Yeah. We looked to one together that you can scan some documents and get the right information from there.
Retrieve data retrieval.
Yeah, that are so amazing things that you can make part of the conversational experience.
I fully agree.
Besides that, the NLP and NLU, the natural language understanding, that is evolving every day. And besides that, the machine learning part. And the machine learning part is getting there, and it makes it so easy in the future to be a conversation designer, because you can use all the documents and all the informations that's already there to train your chatbot. So the game of conversation design is really changing, and the way to build chatbots can be done quite easily in the near future, I think.
So you're saying we don't need conversation designers anymore? You're making yourself obsolete? Is that what you're saying?
I would never say that.
Okay. But that's the political answer. Now because as I said before, I'm looking into technology that basically, if you look at FAQ bots on a website, which it's very hard to keep up with the changes in the website. It's all manual labor, and the conversation designer or the AI trainer, they have to train the intents. Looking into software that actually takes that away, and does that for you, and delivers a better result. Not saying that the conversation designer should be obsolete. It won't be, because it's actually going in the direction you just said with RPA and other technologies or machine learning technologies, where you make the bot smarter, better, faster, and do stuff it can do right now and make the customer experience better. So I see it moving there. So actually the job of a conversation designer is becoming more complex and more technical.
You have to know what the capabilities are, and how you have to design a bot. And the most important part is that you keep an eye on what the chatbot is training. So you can let AI go and train itself. But in my opinion, as a company, you like to get involved in what is trained and what is the bot learning. And sometimes people have the assumption that a chatbot should ask or should give all the answers the people are giving. But I think it's...
What do you mean by that?
Before, you have a chatbot, e-commerce chatbot, and some people are thinking, oh, nice, I'm going to test the chatbot, and they are asking how many coffees can I drink on a day, but it's completely not relevant.
Off topic, you mean?
Yeah.
So it's like in the first the first podcast we recorded, we tested a banking chatbot, and it said, you can ask me anything, and we did.
Yeah.
And it sort of panicked because it had no clue.
Yeah, but it makes no sense. So you have to look at the structure of the company. Okay, where are we here for, and what does a bot need to do? What is the digital
value?
Yeah, and focus on that and doing that good. Instead of giving stupid answers to stupid questions.
Yeah.
And if you want to do that, okay, do you want to know more about coffee? Ask my bot friend. Maybe they can help you.
I get it. So it's, but I forgot what I wanted to ask. You bring together these three technologies, and where would you apply it right now? In because we're talking about use cases. Okay, you're bringing all this stuff together. So in what situation would you now apply these three things to improve our lives or the life of
the basic thing, the most interesting thing still is the big companies and the support departments.
But give an example of a company where you look at it's like, okay, this is shit and we can do it better. Here I would introduce this stack of technology to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, it's too basic, but you can say, for example, Zalando, because of the many
Zalando is the clothing, shoes.
Yeah. Okay. But
e-commerce store.
Yeah, my creative brain likes to think about, okay, what can you do if this technology, if you look at history classes, they are always the same, but what if you can talk to someone in the history, and you can ask, for example, Churchill about questions about
You're talking about deep fakes.
Yeah,
well,
you can make a deep fake of it. I don't know privacy wise if that is possible.
Well, you're a public figure and it's history and you're dead,
But how amazing would it be if you change the way history classes are giving, and you can actually ask something to people from the history and getting the answers about the things you're curious about and have a conversation about that.
And the AI generates the answer based on the things this person has said or the paperwork he created or
all the studies that are done to the subject and the history books that are written. You can train really the.
You must have hated history class really bad, right?
No,
boring.
I kind of like them, but I really like history. That's why I came up with the history teacher.
So you're an entrepreneurial guy. You started in smart sockets. My question to you: so why didn't you build a history class bot where you integrate that technology? Let's say with deepfake and AI, basically, because all the stuff is there in the history books and books about those person or written by those people, et cetera, et cetera. So why don't we have it? Why isn't it there? Because in Corona time, we managed to, do the exact same thing, but then online, schooling basically didn't change the way we teach, which I think is a pity. Pretty soon, I'm going to be recording with someone who uses microbots for e-learning, which is really interesting. It's a different way of looking at learning, in-company learning. But why didn't you do it? What's stopping you? This is about you, but it's
the possibilities of the machine learning technology are they are there yet, but they are very early stage. So to build this history chatbot, I think I didn't try, but
so apply to the Ministry of Education and ask for a subsidy, because this is innovation. This is true innovation. What? Because seriously, if I look at my kids and a lot of kids. It's boring. Also for the teacher, it's boring because they're telling the same story over and over and over, and the book is there, and the government determines what you have to teach because that's in the final exams, etc., etc. So why don't you spice up or make it more juicy? You know that I don't know if you know it, Khan Academy.
No, didn't.
This is a guy in America. He started a Khan Academy. It was Mr. Khan, and he was helping his nephew with math. And at some point, he or his nephew, I don't know, either one moved to Florida and they were based in New York. And he still wanted to help him with math. So he started recording YouTube videos with the explanation or video with an explanation on how to solve this math problem, et cetera, et cetera. So, and that his nephew started showing the videos to his friends in school. And they're like, wow, this works. It works actually better than the teacher. And based on that, you should look into that. He created a whole educational system where you learn according to your level and your speed. And you can't move forward unless you understand what you need to understand. And that's why a lot of kids lag behind, because they don't understand what they were taught before. And they have to move on. And they're, the next knowledge is based on no knowledge. And that's where they fail.
You can also teach the history, the online or the AI history teacher to ask the questions.
So here's my challenge to you, and we just started the new year, so this is your New Year's challenge. And if you do it, I'll put a full podcast to it. We'll talk about it as long as we like. We'll test it, and you can show it to the world. I would challenge you to make a small demo and do it and see what it can do. It's like and if you need help, we'll just ask in the podcast for help for people who want to join you in this effort to do something like this. I think you can change the educational system.
Yeah, would be nice. I will do it.
Challenge accepted.
Open call to the listeners to join the challenge and create the first AI history teacher.
We'll put it in the comments and ask people to join you, and you'll report back to me to see what's happening. Yeah. If I can help in any way, please let me know. I will, because I truly believe you're onto something, especially for history. It's like you turn something really boring for a lot of kids into something. Hey, it's challenging. You're making it alive.
Yeah, and it also you can do the same for paintings. Maybe we can create Rembrandt as well. But that's what I like the most, and that's what the question started to think about completely new ways. Just getting out of the customer support and thinking really, okay, how can these different technologies come together and create something, a completely new experience? And that's what I like to think about. Be creative, think about new ways to do something more fun or more efficient.
Okay. Also look into the Khan Academy, because they have a really good system, which is being applied in schools now, actually. And then the teacher is not a teacher anymore. It's like a travel guide. It guides the kids through the process. It stands beside them instead of in front of the class, just transmitting content, basically.
Yeah, makes it way more efficient, but
more fun.
If you look at the innovation part, for how long do we have the internet, and for how long are we able to create videos, and how long does it take to create this kind of innovation in education?
Well, I think Corona has proven that we can, if we want to, and if we need to, we can. And it has to start somewhere. I mean, someone has to have the balls and just do it. And that's how innovation gets done.
Yeah, and it's nice how this started, because just someone that wants to help his nephew and searching for the most efficient way to do so, and then came up to, okay, this is the most efficient way to teach children how to do their math.
It's the same thing when we started with outbound chatbots. I talked to a lot of platforms and said, no, we can't do it. It's not a market. It's not going to happen. And it's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't believe it. And finally, I found a platform that they had it in their stack available, but they weren't doing it. So they said, well, we're interested. Let's do this together. So it happened. And still everybody said, oh, it's difficult, blah, 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 blah. And we fixed it, and it works like magic.
That was like 2 years ago? How long do we know each other?
No, this idea started in 2018 and 2019. And then it developed from there. No, in 2018, we started with the idea. And it took a while before we got there. And then we had a project, and then we had to change to another project. You know how it goes in big corporates. And then we started, and then Corona came. So we changed it to a Corona bot, and then finally we could do what we wanted to do. And it still works like magic. It's amazing that if people tell you you can't do it, then it becomes interesting, in my opinion. That's where innovation comes in. And you need to, of course, with a bit of realism, don't let yourself be stopped by people who say you can't do it, because that's where those are not the innovators. Those are not the supporters of innovation. And I truly believe that the education system can use, not only in Holland, a bit of innovation. It's very, and we have a shortage of teachers. So you might be, you make it more fun and you solve a problem. So,
yeah.
We'll tag the Ministry of Education, right? And ask them for a subsidy. We'll just do it.
Yeah. We can put a demo on quite easily, I think. But you were the first one, I think 2 years ago, that told me about the outbound thing, what you were doing.
Yeah, you're turning things around now, right? In the podcast, you said to me that you were going to ask me questions, which is totally fine. I enjoy that. What do you want to know? What's the question? Yeah, yes, it's true. What do you want to know?
The first thing, when does it came up that the outbound thing was a solution for something?
Well, it started in my head because I was challenged with a in-company challenge, basically something, a problem that wasn't scalable in the way it was organized, as it was organized basically with people. I'm not saying people aren't scalable, but the people we needed for that job were hard to get, highly educated, hence also relatively expensive. If you combine hard to get and expensive, there's an underlying business case to automate. And there's another thing, that this was in financial services. There is something called compliance. And if you do aftercare on insurance or financial products, you need to be consistent in the questions you ask. So basically, you need to treat every customer the same way because the same questions apply, if it's related to the product. And you want to never forget a question, and you want to combine the answers you get. There's logic to it. And that's where you start thinking, okay, how can I make this solution scalable? And that's one thing, the scalability, but also consistent and affordable. Because that's another thing. If you're expanding, if you grow, you need more people. So your business case is, it doesn't get any better. If you have a smart way of automating where you can apply all these principles, so you are compliant, you are consistent, et cetera, and predictable. That's the other thing. Then you have a use case for it. But I had no proof because there was nothing and no one in the market who could tell me about this. So that's also how I started eventually the podcast, because I was looking for independent knowledge and information, not sponsored, not from a platform. I wanted to learn. And there were some people that started something, but after two recordings, they stopped, or 3 or 5. Or it was sponsored by a company, or there was just 2 podcasts about chatbots. And I was looking for knowledge, and it wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, if it isn't there, also my producer, he challenged me. We just started, and we're still here, and actually we're growing. And so back to the chatbot, that's how the idea started, and we we put a team together, and we growth hacked our way through the innovation. And it was really hard. I have to be honest. We burned a lot of cash. We made a lot of mistakes, but we did it together. There was one team. We worked really closely together with the platform, a team of applied psychologists, struggles with communication department, with web editors, discussion about long copy and short copy. We had it all. That's why I can ask these questions. In the end, you need to be a little pig-headed and believe in what you're building. That's why I'm challenging you on the history teacher, or the history teacher bot, because you need to believe in what you're doing. And that was the whole point. We had the whole team, an agile team, believing what we were building. And in the beginning, it was really hard because customers weren't too enthusiastic, because we need to identify them. We had a complex identifying principle in it. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. So we needed to figure something else out, made it easier. It's testing with real customers. And all of a sudden, boom, then it happens.
Sounds like a really valuable time for you, that you experience all of the things that happen during a project to make it successful. But I'm quite curious about, do you think the company is getting ahead of the competitors now they have implemented this innovation?
Yes, because what happened was, if they would have done this with people, they would have needed to hire between 20 and 30 people. Well, you can imagine the cost. The chatbot doesn't cost that much. That's one. So in terms of financial success versus the value it brought, it's a good deal. Secondly, if you start communicating with your customers, and your customers are sort of enthusiastic about it on the one hand, because they can do it whenever they want, on any device they want, you're getting customers ready to have a different form of communication. So it opens up channels for future, I wouldn't say e-commerce, but commerce in your chatbot. So it opens up space for upsell, cross-sell, or just informing people, because they're giving you the space. You shouldn't abuse it, because the one thing I warn for in companies is that if your chatbot is successful in one department, that's why I always ask who's the owner of it. Next thing that happens, consider the chatbot a hammer, every problem becomes a nil. Then every department says, "Oh, we need a chatbot for our problem."
Yeah,
and that doesn't work, because then you get waste in your chatbot. People use the other chatbot, they get frustrated, and down goes the usage of your successful bot. So you need to guard that. That's my opinion, at least.
but at the end of the project, the business case was good. The people are more satisfied because of the communication channels and the 24/7 availability of the bot.
Yep.
And the company gets knowledge about the technology and knows all the fuck ups that they came along, and knows how to develop the bot in the future.
Even more, because within the data, if you look ahead, if you as an insurance company, you see which mutations, just changes in the insurance policies your customers make based on aftercare, you see they're doing it in the bot. That means you get information how to develop your products. Because if you can do it in a bot, why don't I bring it into the product, or in a product feature that you can do that yourself? If they understand it in a bot, they can do it in in an extranet or whatever in the product itself. So you get so much information from your customers. I'm not saying that it's not something to hunt the customer down with all that information, like the Facebooks are doing, etc. That's not how you should use it, but you can make their life easier and make products more suitable. And I think the government should be happy with this kind of developments, because you get products that are more suitable for the customer, because you get their actual response, and it's data. You get actionable data.
You know their needs better, and
they know their needs best.
Yeah, the nice thing about the chatbot is that they just can ask questions.
Yeah, and the other thing, I don't believe the Net Promoter Score is a good value to use for your chatbot. I'm totally against it. It's a ridiculous question in the chatbot. I think the usability is how easy is it for you. That's important. And have you been helped?
How much time did it cost to solve the problem? And did you have the right channel to solve the problem?
Well, the interesting thing with an outbound chatbot, it's the other way around. You're in charge of the conversation. Where an inbound chatbot, you have to wait and you have no clue what they're coming with. If I send you an invitation to talk with a bot, or actually a digital colleague, I want something from you or with you. Or I know it's important for you, so I want you to enter the conversation with me or with the bot, and give me information so I can help you.
And the way of thinking was mostly reactive. But when I start with proactive, we look at the complete customer journey and create the conversational touch points. And when you look at the conversational touch points, you see, okay, but we can give a reaction on this one when the customer comes. But what if we are one step ahead of the customer and be proactively, so they don't have to come for us at all? So the way to fix things, or the way to create a good customer experience, are really improving if you are going to think that way.
It's so funny you said that, because in the recording we did with T-Mobile, I challenged mobile providers. They have our mobile numbers. It doesn't get any easier. They are able to send us text messages, or an SMS, as we call it, saying that our subscription expires in 3 months. We can renew it. That's it. They send us a text message, or you used up your amount of gigabytes, whatever. They can do it. Fully automatic, not a problem. So I asked them, okay, if I'm an individual user, a private user, why can't you send me a WhatsApp message, or invite me to a chatbot on a safe page, web page, secured web page, to talk to me about my subscription? You know my data usage, you know how much I talk, or how many inbound calls I get. You can make me the most optimal offer. You can even use the API of platforms that compare mobile providers. Based on my actual usage, you could calculate what would be the best offer, and use dynamic pricing to go €1 or €0.5 underneath. So make sure I have the best offer in place. You can fully automate that. And people look at me as like, yeah, we could, but it's very difficult. I know it's difficult, but the technology is here, right?
Yeah, definitely. But
It's not being done.
The systems of those companies are so big and the systems are so stuck, and sometimes they are so thinking so silo. But can I arrange this within my power? No, that would be too difficult. Okay, we are not going to do this, and that's
you know what we should do? There's in Holland this guy called Ben Wolvering. He's from bellen.com. Gaslicht.com. He was the first. He started as I think he was still in school when he started comparing mobile providers. And he has I think a nice company. We should tag him. We turn it around. Why don't we make a chatbot with him and upload your invoice? We know your actual usage, and then we connect you to your provider.
Yeah, you like to play out the big ones so that you have to bet on a contract.
Well, that's actually interesting. Actually, we're talking about an innovation here. You're talking about a market for subscriptions, right? You can do an offer.
I really like Adyen as an example. So
we're going fully off topic. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
But getting all the small ones, all the small companies that they have something that they want to use and combine them and be the player that has a big seat on the table to the big ones. And that's what you can create if you have all the small contractors and say, okay, if you want to give them a good contract, they are using me, so I'm the one on the table you have to investigate with.
You just want to be a pain in the ass for the big ones, right?
Yeah, it can be a way.
What's the only way to get innovation done? Just it needs to hurt. If it doesn't hurt, it's not good. And it needs to hurt someone, not really hurt, but business wise. If someone isn't getting scared of what you're doing, then you're not disrupting. But if someone gets scared, you're on the right track.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really nice to see. And Adyen is
they did it.
Beautiful example of that they knew from, okay, we see a big opportunity. And if you think about it, it's not that that hard. It's quite easy what they do, but it's so
it sounds easy. It's not that easy.
Yeah, it's great how they put it to scale and put it actually to work. So that I think this is the example that you give and the opportunity that you're talking about. I think the way Adyen did it is the way that this idea can actually work.
Well, good to know. We'll call Ben and see what happens.
Second opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. It's turning into an innovation podcast. Any other questions for me? Because we turned the table around.
What I like to do is just building the strategy. I'm quite curious. What are the main important things that a company needs to know before starting with implementing conversational AI, in your opinion?
Well, if you look or listen at the previous recordings of the podcasters, one of the most important thing is the ambassadorship on C-level. You need to have the support of C-level or management in between in order to have space, money, people to get shit done. If you don't have that, they'll pull the plug too early, or they don't understand that you need backing in order to be able to experiment. And I think that's one of the primary things. You need someone who gives you backup on that level, or is the ambassador and just gives you free hand to do whatever you need to do. So that means someone needs to trust you and your team. If you don't have that, then everything else is really, really difficult because you're spending money. and that money could go to other departments, other innovation projects or whatever. And part of innovation is that you make mistakes and fuck-ups, and you don't want to be judged on those fuck-ups. You want to be judged on the successes. Actually, a fuck-up is a success as well, because you know what not to do. And that saves you money in the future. Someone would come up with an idea, let's do this. We did it, we tested it, doesn't work. So I think that's one of the most important things. And if you do it agile, you know sort of where you're heading, but you don't know. And you don't know which turns are you going to take, et cetera, et cetera. So you can strategize all you want. You need to have a main focus, what you want to achieve in the end. So why are we, first start with the why. It's basically Simon Sinek. Mm-hmm. We can tag all these people in this podcast. Wonderful. But that's the point. If you start with why, everybody's on the same page with the why. Why are we doing this? What do we want to achieve when we're done? Or what do we need to have learned when we're done? Then you can achieve, most of the time you can achieve what you want to achieve. That doesn't mean the bot is a success. There are no guarantees. In my opinion, you should keep it short and simple. The more text you use or the more blah blah you use, the more expectations you have. And you need to manage expectations in the beginning and take them with you on their journey. I think that's the most important part of strategizing. The other thing is that the people in the company, the co-workers or the customer service people, need to understand that the chatbot is not against them or to replace them, but actually it will work besides them and with them to make their work more fun and the life of the customer easier. And it shouldn't be an attack on their work or making them obsolete. I don't think that's a good idea, because you see, and that's one of the things I see in chatbots not done very well, is the handover to a customer service agent, to a live agent, or when you do it out of office hours, that it says, oh, you need to come back. Why can't I leave my phone number, my email address, or whatever? Right? Crazy. So easy.
Building a flow like that is just a matter of seconds.
I know. We all know. But look at the chatbots we tested. It's not being done. So,
but the funny thing, what you are saying is that implementing AI to a company, conversational AI to a company, and the number one success factor is people.
You agree, right?
Yeah, definitely.
No, managing expectations. And one of the things in the project we did, we said we need to, AI is for later. We need to have a predictable outcome where the customer first has an amazing experience where you say, oh, wow, this, can I have more of this? Once you have them there, you can start very small with doing AI stuff and surprise them in a positive way and slowly expand. If you do it the other way around, you get too little people, too little traffic on your chatbot. People won't come back because it wasn't a good experience. You know what happens. So
yeah, shitty experience. And the first question they ask next time is, I want to talk to you.
Exactly. Or give me the phone number because I can't find it on the website. And that's, I think that's one of the big mistakes made in a lot of projects where you need to think big. And that's also why companies choose the wrong platforms. They don't strategize enough about the innovations they want to do. So I do believe you need to strategize in terms of what do I want the bot to do in a year or 2 years or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean you have to do that, but the platform shouldn't stop you from doing it. It should be either on their development roadmap or already there, but you shouldn't be stopped by technology. And most companies don't do that strategizing because it's a little bit of hard work in the beginning. You need to have some visionaries there.
Yeah,
people who dare to say...
It's quite difficult because you really need to know the capabilities of the technology now. That's already difficult for a lot of people if you are not into it.
Exactly.
And besides that, look at 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Where are the deepfakes? Where is the AI going? What is possible with holograms, and how can you combine that with conversational AI? And think about I call it always the B hack, your big, hairy, ambitious
goal, yeah.
And what is it instead of your conversational AI journey? And then
and that's where you need the C-level people in order to carry that innovation part. We're not there yet, but we understand we're going somewhere in a couple of years. That's where you need to support, because sometimes you take a little bit more, a platform that might be a bit more expensive, but in the end it's cheaper because you are able to do that stuff you want to do later on and not do rework.
Yeah, you're building and actually building, and then you are starting with a floor, and your basics needs to be great or top or on a good level to make a sustainable and good building for your company. And that is basically what you're doing in the beginning, and that's so important.
Yeah, and but that goes for any project, whether it's a conversational AI or other development project or innovation products. You should spend a lot of time in the beginning with the thinking and the defining, and also what you're not doing. And during the process, you save a lot of time with discussions and negative stuff from people who want to intervene because they want to influence your project. Did I answer all your questions? Because really, this was interesting to do it the other way around. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, in my opinion, a conversation
there's two ways.
Yeah,
I agree. No, I'm enjoying it. But I wasn't planning to talk about my work, but about your work. But it's fine. It's fun to do an outbound chatbot. It's a different game.
Yeah, I think
really a different game.
That is the most important part of the conversations that we had is the outbound thinking is really helpful to design your chatbots and think about the possibilities.
It requires different things from technology though, but you're making chatbots personal because it's about the customer. If it's inbound, it's not about the customer; it's about information.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's not entirely true. If someone is identified and or logged in somewhere, then it becomes more personal. But still, then it's about data. And I think part of the future of chatbot it should be personal. So every chatbot, either with data or AI or combined, becomes ultra personal, where it becomes very hard to feel the difference, or maybe you feel the difference, to see the difference between a live agent who can deliver you the same data, but only during office hours, and a chatbot which can do it anytime.
I think it's the dream of every marketing team to communicate personally and relevant on the right time.
I couldn't agree more. I have nothing to add to that. But it is a dream, but it's also reality. That's the point. I truly believe it's reality and it's happening. And if I see the project ahead currently, it is happening. And also with AI, it is happening. But you said in the beginning, we need to sort of filter AI because there is some scary stuff going on. If we don't control that, then the customer has a bad experience. We give them the wrong information. So that filter part isn't solved yet technologically. But I'm confident that we're getting there.
Yeah.
You have more questions for me, or
we can go to the testing part? I think
I was going to say you selected you're in control now. You need to
yeah. Okay.
You selected
an insurance company.
ASR.
It's Dutch, but we can translate a bit.
Yeah, well,
what I really liked.
Why did you choose them? Let's start with that. And there's a history to ASR. I think you know it. ASR had a period where their whole website was conversational. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they changed it back to just this.
Mm-hmm.
You know the story behind that or not?
No,
I don't.
I don't know the really story behind that, but I know the difference that they changed it back to the normal website. But
I tested it. I tried it when they were fully conversational. I didn't enjoy it because sometimes you just want to click on something and get the information, and it's obvious. Not everything needs to be conversational. It's a bit over the top.
Yeah, something with a hammer.
I heard that before. We're going to test the ASR bot. I'll start translating. Good afternoon. Welcome to ASR. Please ask your question underneath. We would love to help you, or check out the information about the coronavirus. I'm not sure how that is relevant in this chatbot if you talk about the insurances, but that's...
Maybe say something about the team currently.
I don't know. But and then it says you can buy a new product, about inform them about damages you have, change your data, funds, and the I say that in English, Koersen. The value of the funds, and contact them. Which is funny because we're in a chatbot and we're contacting them already, and then there's a
Do you
somewhere
like
you can type.
Do you like that option? To have that directly?
I like it more when it's on the right next to the chatbot, and not because these are main categories. It says so. My preference would be you would have it in the right of the screen next to the chatbot, saying or go directly to the conversation about. But I'm interested if you would buy a product, if that's conversational or not.
Yeah, when giving the option to contact the company directly, sometimes humans really like human interaction. So
they would expect that.
Yeah, if you have the people available, why don't you give them the option to send them directly to people?
And what happens on Sunday morning?
They can remove it. Maybe.
We don't know. We're not on Sunday morning, but
they are able, hopefully, that they can remove it on the Sundays.
I'll try Sunday morning. What are we gonna do?
Where do we go? We don't go for this one. I think we are trying to have a new product.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Okay, you can easily buy our products through an independent insurance advisor. He will look at what's best for you. Please tell us what you're looking for and we'll help you. Look at the insurances, calculate your premium, buy the insurance through an advisor, this is confusing, to be honest. Because it says you can easily buy our products through an independent insurance advisor, and all of a sudden it says there you can calculate your premium.
Why would they do that?
They want to lure you in and then make the calculation and then still go to an advisor, because I don't think you can buy directly from them.
Yeah.
Why do you think they did it?
It would be too easy, I think. If they do that, it's yeah.
What do you mean it's too easy?
Yeah, you don't feel you're getting taken serious by the company if they say they are independent, but they.
Hold on, did you click something?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't click something, and then it says, okay, we took some time not clicking. And all of a sudden it says, I don't know the answer to your question. Please ask me different questions or reformulate your question. We didn't do anything.
Okay. Okay.
So
maybe
there's a time limit here.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know the reason why they should do that, because they have all the time, right?
It's a chatbot.
If we have a time limit for them, that would be okay, but
it's crazy. Sorry.
Okay, where do we go?
You decide. You're testing it. You chose them, so you decide. I'll come with the stupid questions.
Okay. And then you go directly to another page.
And
from the design port, maybe can be okay, but
the good thing is, contrary to a lot of other companies, the chatbot stays on the page, even though we go through a different web page.
Yeah, I really
that I like.
I really like that the chatbot is getting with you.
And what I'm curious about, if you would click one of those other ones, basically, is the menu still active? In a lot of chatbots, we see that once you're past, you made your choice, you're past the menu, or the choices, it's not a choice anymore. You need to restart the chatbot.
Here as well. The options are still there.
Okay.
We can go to this one.
So kudos for that.
Yeah. Oh, wait. What is happening now? Oh, all right.
Oh, you change it. Okay.
Directly to another.
Okay, this here again, they ask for, what did you ask for? To see all the insurances they have?
Yes.
So here's interesting. They don't do it in a chatbot. They connect it to a web page where I have an opinion about that, but I would like to know what you think about that.
Depends on the use case, because they have the data. Are the people that are using the website, are they mostly on a laptop or a computer, or are they using their mobile phone? And how is the UX design is experienced? I think it's when they make the decision to, I think I like this way of communicating, because it's they give a good overview of the options that they are.
Okay, but I'm going to be critical. If you go to an insurance company, would you ever go to an insurance company to see what products they have? Or do you go to the insurance company, I need a car insurance, or I need a home insurance, I need X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, okay. You already know what a problem is, or
does anybody ever go to an insurance company without a certain purpose? Just for fun.
I know I'm going on holiday, I'm going on winter sports, go to snowboard, and I exactly know what kind of insurance I need to have. Yeah,
exactly. So why doesn't the chatbot ask me? This is a piece of advice for ASR. It shouldn't tell me, okay, give you the overview. That's the easy way out. Yeah. So it's like, what kind of insurance are you looking for?
That was the purpose, yeah.
And then it says travel insurance, and then they can still do this, but bring me straight to travel insurance page.
Yeah, you have.
That's when you're really helping me.
You have the subjects over here, so
now I have to scroll through, and then it doesn't matter whether you're a mobile or an iPad or on a regular computer. It doesn't matter. You always go to the right information immediately.
Yeah. So okay, and then we click on a car, for example.
Click again on this, because you did it again.
Wait. And then you start with okay.
It's interesting.
Is this a part of ASR?
Yeah, it's just part of it. So I was actually working for ASR and for the other company of ASR in the period Ditso started. Actually, one of my directors was one of the directors of Ditso. So yeah, I was there at the time.
Okay, this is interesting. They going two ways for it now. So the basic website, and also the chatbot is knowing that I'm going for a car insurance, and they give me several of options here, and also
that's really confusing. Because now I'm having a conversation. I'm doing it on two locations. So.
Internally, they have a big struggle, I think. I think they have a web team and a conversational team.
Yeah.
That are...
But this is what... Remember when we started that I said, who is owner of the chatbot? What I see is that this is not aligned. And maybe they think they're aligned. But if you look at the customer experience, this is confusing. Do you want me to be on the web page, or do you want me to be in the chatbot?
Yeah.
But you can't do both.
Yeah. It's...
So either you're referring me to the web page, or you're referring me to the chatbot. But I get confused.
Yeah, you can do something with A/B testing.
Yeah. So
you can investigate what the user likes the most, and then you can create a strategy and go for it. But the way they are doing it now is quite.
And actually, so what I see is that the chatbot actually doesn't do anything, because it refers back to the webpage. Because if you click one of those, except for what it says here, calculate your premium, look at the extra coverage in the insurance, and actually, it's really stupid, because I can't fully read the headers of the buttons. I don't even know what they're saying.
Oh, look, they are, when I click on the extras, they are going to directly to
everything about the insurance.
Yeah.
But But still, read more about our, and then the word is sort of cut off. It's, I don't know. And then the last one is to chat with an employee. I'm really curious what I'm going to test on Sunday morning or Saturday to see if they're, if you can actually chat to an employee.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it.
Yeah, this is, I'm really curious about the decisions they made internally about how to implement this to the web page, and also the discussion that we had before. Okay, they went fully conversational, and now they are going back to a sort of
basic,
twisted formula.
If you would do this, how would you change this? So we're giving free advice to ASR. Make a choice.
I would go for the A/B testing part. So don't go for the combination in the conversational part and in the web page part. And if you make it conversational, you can make it completely conversational, because they showed earlier in the beginning that they have a really nice full screen options to showcase the chatbot. And then they are using web, so there are many more options that they can use. They can ask questions why they want the insurance, and they can create the flow themselves.
Did you see this? Here, maybe you can put the mouse on it. There, where ASR is sort of typing. We didn't ask anything. We didn't click anything.
I think it's a basic setting because it's there all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit weird, because it's assuming that we have to wait for it to tell something, and then it says, "I didn't understand your question."
Yeah, but
So you're telling ASR, please make a choice. It's one or the other, but not both. And this is confusing.
Let data decide. They really know the potential of conversational AI, because otherwise you don't make a completely conversational web page for such a big company.
That was daring. I had a lot of respect for the effort. Someone needed to have big balls to do that.
Yeah, and you don't know what happened in the market because of they showed them, and they showed also the competitors. This is what we are doing, and this is where we believe in. And now this is the output. It's not there yet, and they are still have improvement to make. But
you know what I find also confusing? Can I have a look up here? Because if we look at here on the other page, it said you can buy directly from ASR a Ditso brand, or have the ASR insurance. And here it says the more products you have, in a package insurance, which is basically more insurance under one in one contract, your discount is higher. But if you have two different labels, would it go for two different? Of course not. But it's sort of, I find it confusing. If you have a direct label, put it aside, it's direct. And if you have an indirect label like ASR, just keep it that way.
Yeah.
And actually the direct label, the Ditso label, is perfectly suitable to make conversational and do have a chatbot doing the transaction.
If you go to Ditso, would they have the same user experience with and the chatbot and the web page? Otherwise, maybe an idea for them is to make Ditso completely conversational and use ASR as the web page, and just compare it to each other.
Yeah, that's one of the things. But type something weird in the chatbot,
how much coffee I can drink on a day?
Is my coffee insured? In Dutch, is mijn koffie verzekerd? You can't even type?
No.
Hold on.
Maybe it can be part of the buttons, because that is the reason I can't type. But this one said that I can type a few words, or ask a question in a few words. But
try to make sure that maybe the keyboard doesn't work. Try.
That makes sense.
The keyboard, the batteries are empty. That could be the case. This is interesting. This is something we didn't test. So this is okay. This is a new thing in a podcast. I think it's not typing. Okay, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna get a battery.
Okay.
Hold on. Als je alles hebt meegemaakt. I'm back. This is live problem solving. Now it should work. There we go. There you go.
Okay, and then the question was like coffee section.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, for this intermezzo. So we asked the chatbot, is my coffee insured?
Yeah, there we go.
And actually, what's also funny, the chatbot doesn't have a name.
Yeah, why do you think that is? They can't make a mistake at all, but
I think they wanted the chatbot to be too much like the website. And maybe if we think back that they originated from a fully conversational website, they thought of that's the way to go. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's basically the website in a chatbot.
Yeah, the previous experience. But
yeah.
This is, in my opinion, it's quite basic, but in this case, it's like a redirector.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask it if the coffee is under the home insurance. Valt het binnen de dekking? Is koffie?
Koffieschade?
Ja.
Stel hem eerst hier.
We have asked if coffee is insured on the policy, and then it asks what kind of product is it, pension or healthcare. It has no clue what we're talking about.
Maybe healthcare. If you drink a lot of coffee every day, and I end up in the hospital.
Yeah, but here, if you click it, you go to the webpage of the. Hold on! Oh my God! Can you go back up? It's a huge balloon of text. It says, "I'm not even going to translate it." It's about a story about health insurance. You clicked health insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it says children until 18 years, nothing about the coffee. It's totally irrelevant. And then the other one. And then something about having gotten a child, and then you can log into My Care. Okay. But you see, there's no connection to the question we asked earlier in the information they're giving.
No.
So,
you see, it's very rule-based.
Rule-based is not a problem if you understand the intents.
Yeah, exactly. But if you create intents and you assume that you have the right answer, and then you create an answer like that, or you have to create something like, okay, do I get it right? Is this your question?
Maybe we should ask the question differently. That you spilled coffee on... we should put this one in, yeah. Spilled coffee on, I don't know, on your clothes. Is it insured in your travel insurance? Over your laptop.
Oh, wait.
Even better.
Let help them. Wait.
Gegooid. Okay, here it becomes better. It says, it's too much text. It says, this is home insurance, not the actual home, but what's in your home. It says, under the insurance, all your stuff. It's like furniture, carpeting, computers, audio and video equipment, dishwasher, refrigerator, etc. Small pets. I mean, if you spilled coffee on your pet, that's apparently insured. But what's the definition of a small pet?
Yeah, but they still don't say anything about coffee, right?
Clothing insurance. No, it's just quotes from the text that's on the website.
Yeah, the main purpose is that you don't know if I make a mistake by let my coffee drop over my laptop, am I insured?
You don't. It doesn't know whether you're at home or or you're traveling.
That would be a next question. Yeah.
Did it happen at home or traveling?
Or yeah, can be anywhere.
Because then you know which insurance. So, what do we think of this bot? Honestly, and we should be honest.
I really, to be positive to the company, I really like the ambition of the conversational web page and the full screen, and I like the design of that.
Yeah.
But if you look what the bot really is able to do, there's still a lot of room for improving. That's my opinion about the bot. So,
what I see, I agree, and that's on a positive note. But what I see is what we're experiencing as a customer is an internal discussion of what it should do. I don't think it's properly strategized because it's basically the website in a bot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't understand what we're saying. There's no connection to the answers that we're giving. It's giving general information. This is the type of bot, I'm sorry, Azar, but this is the type of bot where people are complaining. This is it.
Yeah, that's the image of chatbots is defined by this kind of experiences. So it's a redirecting. Yes, we have chatbots, but I'm still hopeful that they have the right vision about conversational AI because of the big investment that they have made and the courage that they have showed by making the full screen chatbot and make it the main part of the website.
I agree, but again, I think they were ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
and now they're sort of behind. And I don't know. I'm not sure if this is a technology problem or capacity problem or a strategy problem or all of the above. But it seems like they haven't made a proper choice what the bot should do. So it's just redirecting.
Yeah, I can imagine that the strategy part and don't really knowing where to go, don't really know what the capabilities are of conversational AI and how to start with conversation design if you don't have everything built. Conversation designs and chatbot starts somewhere, and it starts with with a solution. What's the problem? What's the solution? And can we automate the solution? And can the customer benefit from that? And you don't have to build a completely good chatbot that can answer anything.
No, just be honest.
You have to be clear from, okay, what's your question? You can say, okay, I can't help you with that yet. I will redirect you to the right page or the right person. And otherwise, it's, oh, nice. I'm able to help you getting the right insurance if it comes to boats or something.
Exactly. And if it says, can you ask one more question? That you want to buy an insurance directly without an advisor. See if it connects you to Ditso.
Do you want a subject?
No, just make it car insurance. It's just an okay. See if they understand. Okay, here this is really weird. On their webpage, they say, okay, you can buy an insurance directly at Ditso. And here it says you can easily buy our insurance through an independent insurance advisor.
Yeah, probably the intent will be getting insurance.
But the word direct is very important.
And also car is important.
Yeah, you made a typo, but you say about for your car, and then it says here it says you can our car insurance and our disability insurance you can buy yourself, and then it asks you even which product of ASR is this about. I'm sorry, guys. We are itching to help you guys to do a better job. There is absolutely room for improvement. There's not even intents behind this.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you as an insurance company ignore the fact that you're saying car and then you're asking me what insurance is this about?
Yeah. And auto is spelled.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Not that much synonyms to that word.
No. I think we can test a lot more, but the outcome will not be any different. I'm sorry for ASR.
Yeah.
So there's room for, let's conclude with there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, maybe we could help them.
Yeah, we'll send them an offer they can't refuse. Is there any? I think we're working to an end of the recording of today. Is there something, a message or a thought you want to share with the listeners and the viewers that in all that we discussed, something they should do or shouldn't do or take into consideration when you start thinking about we've seen an example how customers get disappointed. We understand, and kudos for the fact that they have a chatbot. I mean, that's also a difficult part. That means they're investing in it, and they believe in doing it. So they've taken the first hurdle. That's good. What message would you give to the listeners or the viewers?
I think
your colleagues, basically.
There are mainly two, I think. The first one is conversational AI is something that is coming and that is coming hard. So the possibilities are growing every day, and the possibilities of the other technologies that are related to this are growing. So as a company or as an institution, follow this development of this technology, because it's going fast and it can give you a lot of chances to improve your business, your processes, and make the customer a lot happier. And besides that,
so basically you're saying get on this train and do it as fast as possible. Start learning, start growing.
Yeah, start learning, following it, the technique. Tell your employees to follow the technique, and find a way to implement it if the case is there already for you. And when you start, it's not easy, and the ground floor needs to be built very good.
Foundation, you mean?
Yeah, foundation. Take your time to build a strategy and really look to the opportunities and to the important decisions that you have to make upfront. Don't make it a fuck up, because you can have really big ambitions. You can be really enthusiastic and go for it, but if you make those fuck ups in the beginning, it will cost a lot of time and a lot of money at the end. So
think big, start small.
Yeah, exactly, and start with a strategy, I would say.
That's it's interesting you say that, because there's a wise economist, Mr. Henry Mintzberg. A lot of people know him, at least by name, not personally. One of his mottos is structure follows strategy. And I think that also goes for chatbot and voicebot and conversational AI implementations. Structure follows strategy. That goes for what does the team need to look like, which technology are we going to use now and in the future, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the order of things. And it's a bit difficult in the beginning, but it gives you a lot of pleasure and satisfaction later on, and a bigger chance on success. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's
great.
Good ending that way.
If someone is looking for you or wants to contact you, how do they find you? Where do they find you?
I think the best way is to use LinkedIn.
At Cas Kaandorp, CAS?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And for our listeners and viewers, you can find At Podcasters on Spotify and on YouTube. Thank you very, very much, Cas, for being here. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you back with the history teacher, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Okay,
Definitely.
see you next time.
Okay, thank you.